man, occasionally you hear about a comic book and you build it up in your head and it does not live up to the hype. I can say thankfully that is not the case with today's subject. I am talking about Luchaverse, Rey Mysterio Team Press. This is number one of Luchaverse. I don't speak Spanish, so I'm not sure how to pronounce Tenebla's name. So I'm going to do my best with it. Please bear with me. But this is in collaboration with Mask Republic and Boss Fight Studios, who makes the wonderful action figures for a lot of the Latino wrestlers. I have the Taya Valkyrie action figure. They have released the Juventud Guerrera, Lucha Brothers. But this book right here, like I said, lived up to the expectation of, first I want to talk about is what you get. $5.99, but you get two complete stories here featuring the two of these characters for this book. Rey Mysterio, the Lucha Legend, WWE Champion, and Teneblas. And what it does is it reminds me, if you were a fan of Lucha Underground, they set up a lot of lore, portraying Lucha Libre as an ancient art form. I'll give you a little bit of the preamble here. For centuries, members of the Mysterio family line have trained to be champions of the people and defend the world against the fallen. A great evil that is destined to plunge the world into darkness. Aided by the clandestine military group known as the Ambassadors, Rey Mysterio is on the quest seeking the source of his family power, the only thing able to be able to destroy the fallen, La Máscara de Primer Mysterio, the mask of the first Mysterio. And as far as look and tone, you drop into a Mexican jungle, uh, with some paramilitary looking guys, the ambassadors, and, they're indeed in search of the mask. And all these stories, though separate, are tied together. He gets the information from Teneblas, who was featured in the second half of the book, to where the mask may be. And it cuts back and forth to his training as a young wrestler to wrestling as well, and really feeds into the lore. And there's also references to Conan, who is a lucha libre um, legend who is still, heavily featured in AAA as a manager and backstage person, and a guy who does a lot of dealings with the different Latino wrestlers to bring them over to America to this day. Without Conan, we wouldn't have Rey Mysterio. We wouldn't have the big presence that we have, and I think he's often overlooked for that. But he's mentioned in the first half, and he's actually shown in the second half of the book briefly in the second story. It is fun, action, and adventure. Um, I'm not going to give away spoilers, but it's well worth the $5.99. The Teneblas story starts in Las Vegas, and you learn about his lore, his backstory, and it involves portals and different universes, so on and so forth. On the other end of his search for the mask, and so it's almost like these two stories are congruent as far as the timeline goes. And what I was very, very, very excited about, two things when we flip to the back of the book. See, they have an advertisement for the Teneblas action figure, which looks amazing. And for me being an American wrestling fan, I am not as familiar with the guys from AAA, from CMLL. And so this is a nice way of cross promoting. And it's like, even though I've never seen the guy wrestle, I enjoyed his presentation in the book, so I'm going to look up a few of his matches. I might get the action figure because he's not just a wrestler now, he is a comic book figure. So I think it's genius that, Mask Republic, Legends of Lucha Libre had done this, put these two entities together, and it gives these characters and these wrestlers, a way to break into a new market. The next issue is going to be featuring the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon Jr., Pentagon Nedio, and Ray Phoenix. The number two is going to feature Lucha Brothers and another couple of wrestlers I never heard of, Solar and Super Astro. And so again, they're bringing you a big name, somebody you're familiar with the Lucha Brothers, who you've seen in AEW. You've seen them in Impact Wrestling, all over Lucha Underground. And they're introducing some guys I'm not as familiar with, Solar and Super Astro. And so, I mean, for $5.99, you get a lot of great, fun wrestling action in the book. You get a lot of folklore, a fantasy story, with paramilitary elements. So much packed into this one book. I can't suggest it enough. Luchaverse, Catalyst, hit up your local comic book store. And if you don't have a local comic book store, hit up my friend Jeff at coffeeandcomic.com through August. When you use the code OLDNERDWY, that is Old Nerd Wyoming, that's me, you get 15% off your order. So go check them out. You get free shipping on anything plus $69 plus. And if you decide that you want to order weekly and get your regular comic books from them, I pay a flat rate of $23 a month, and I get free shipping, boxes sent out weekly with my comic book addiction, my comic book medicine. So that has been my thoughts on Luchaverse Catalyst. Get it if you ain't got it. I'm gonna try to schedule this video as soon as possible to make sure that it's not gone before you guys can order it. So this has been Old Nerd Reviews Wyoming. I will see you guys next time. Until then, keep reading them books. I am out.